Hey guys, Stock Series episode 67. So get a free share on Trading212 if you use my code down below. Still don't know whether it's working. Haven't had anybody get a free share yet, but see if it works. Portfolio's up for about 4,000 this week. A little bit of a recovery. Market's still sort of not really sure where to go. Sort of US stocks up and down a little bit, and gold sort of up and down a little bit. Not too sure where to go. The little gold and silver portfolio here is up 2,000, so it's not too bad. Had some reasonable gains in here. I think it was partly Freeport McMoran, which is slightly less on the gold side. But yeah, not too bad. These are obviously still well in the red, but hoping for more during the end of the year, last quarter, maybe in the new year as well. The ISA has sort of been a little bit choppy, up £200, not a huge amount in there. The ARCPI continues to sort of slightly trickle down, so that's not too bad, because I'm looking to top that up once I sort of sell out some more stuff later. So happy for that to just keep trickling down. Obviously the shares in it are all over the place. Some of them are down 40%, one of them's up 500%, so it's a bit weird. American Tower down a couple of percent. The REITs sort of taken a little bit of a knock this week. Still sort of unsure about inflation, even though a lot of the REITs are allowed to sort of increase their rents with inflation. So yeah, just seems to be a little bit of a knock on REITs. Argo blockchain hasn't really moved, which is a little bit interesting considering Bitcoin has started to really sort of pick up. Sort of 10,000 off all-time highs now on Bitcoin. So I've been topping up this a little bit. I sold out of one of the penny stocks that was sort of fairly low, Novasite. So didn't really see it going anywhere. Bought it sort of last year on a suggestion from Discord. So thought I'll just sell out and put that into Argo. Certainly more bullish on them, and considering they're sort of should be making a fair bit more profit now. Yeah, I thought, considering they haven't gone just yet, where sort of the Bitcoin ETP itself is up 15% this week. So that's pretty good. So that puts me up to 244%, which is good. That's 250 minus the FX impact. So that's good. This is sell-only mode, not allowed to buy any more because it's against the FCA rules, but I'll just leave it there until I want to sell. Tax-free gain on crypto is always good. Sentiment, not really moving. Digital Realty, as I say, a lot of the REITs down sort of 3%. First Majestic Silver, still flat. I think this is just going to sort of lag for a while and then sort of rocket up when silver does. That seems to be the way silver does it. Yeah, so I've also put a sell order in for OPG Power Ventures, just a sort of little Indian sort of coal mining bits and pieces power company. So not a lot in there, just thought I'd sell that out and probably put that into Argo if I can. Very illiquid, so actually put the sell order in for that on Tuesday and it hasn't filled. So see if I can just get rid of that. Polymetal coming back for 4.4%. That's not too bad, but still heavily down on sort of last few months. So it's in the £15, £16 range. Should do well though, I think. I've had some fair dividends out from that, so it's not quite the loss that it shows. Realty actually up, bucking the trend. Stag up as well. Sylvania Platinum having a pretty good week. Rhodium sort of up again slightly. does seem to have bottomed now. So yeah, hopefully some bullish moves. The chip shortage is sort of forecast to be sort of reducing over time. Still fairly bad, but we think we may have peaked. So yeah, cars hopefully starting to be produced more and more. Means good for Sylvania. Tritax down 3%, both Eurobox and the normal one. And Vici, well, pretty flat. So yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag with the REITs. I say they're all down. It's only some. Looking into the invest account. So this has not done too bad. Up about 2,000. Well, up £1,500, and I've put about 500 odd pound in, which I will come to in a minute. So few movers. Airtel down a little bit. The Chinese techs though have been coming back. So if I come back to this, I actually sold out of Kia Group. So I've had this for quite a while. I was up sort of 100% or so. They did sort of a very large share issue and used that to sort of pay off the debt. But it now puts them at sort of a 500 million odd pound company. Yeah, it doesn't show it there. Trading212's data, pretty poor as always. Yeah, I think they're now about 500 million pound. So I can't remember. I think it puts them at a sort of PE ratio of about 10, where I've got a lot of companies in that sort of range. So yeah, I just weren't sort of 100% bullish on Kia Group as a whole, and I thought some of the Chinese techs probably could have bottomed. Alibaba was a smaller position than Process and Baidu, so I thought I'd average down a bit on Alibaba, and that was on Wednesday, so in the sort of 140s range, and then it sort of picked up quite a bit towards the end of the week. So fairly good buy on that, and all of a sudden I go from 30% down to 13% down with averaging down. So yeah, not bad on that. Archer Daniels having a pretty good week, 4% up, sort of back up to pretty much the highs that it has been, apart from this short period in May and June. So pretty happy with them. ASOS continues to drop. This and Boohoo both sort of dropping. Very interesting. Boohoo even starting to sort of look reasonable value now, but I think ASOS looking very good value. Sort of selfishly hoping that it stays down, or if not even drops a little bit more into the end of the year. And yeah, I can hopefully sell off some more crypto and put into ASOS. So Baidu, as I say, Chinese tech's doing quite well towards sort of later half of the week. This was 140, 150 midweek, and now 162. So that's pretty good. Only 10% down on that now. Barrett Developments down a little bit. House builders really getting whacked at the moment. Bristol Myers 3.8%. Again, still looks fairly good value for a pharma company. Pharmaceuticals, not the farming industry. Broadcom 1% up this week. Cardinal down a couple of percent. I am looking to probably get rid of Cardinal at some point, but I do notice Michael Burry's still got a long on it, so we'll see if he's right. eBay having a really good week, 7.5% nearly. I think this is sort of near enough the top that it's been at, so that's pretty good. Get a little dividend out of them as well, so yeah, dividend plus 32% up. Pretty happy with them. FedEx pretty flat. Glencore's pretty flat. Glencore's been doing quite well though recently, considering sort of my other miners are underperforming, but Glencore in sort of copper and nickel primarily, which both sort of fairly bullish. So yeah, wouldn't mind this sort of coming back down a bit and hopefully beef that up later in the year. Sort of a reasonable bet on the EV market, to be honest, with copper and nickel sort of projected to increase quite heavily. Packard down slightly, Himax down slightly. Again, I'd quite like to build up Himax. Don't know if I would HP. Intel's completely flat. International Paper, so they're up in 2% in the last week, but they did come down. I didn't realise, I hadn't read the news. They're spinning off one of their sort of subsidiaries, if you like, and so this dropped sort of previous week, but then this week I got £188 dividend, or sort of special dividend. That's the way Trading212 does it. You just get the cash most of the time. So yeah, that came out, and yeah, so it's not quite as bad as it shows. Invesco slightly up on the week. The ETFs really haven't moved much at all. 0.5% on emerging markets, down about 2.5% on Japan, a couple of percent for global clean energy, which isn't a big move for that. Europe sort of barely moving. The water ETF up slightly. Legal and general up slightly. Lennar pretty flat. Don't think any of these others have moved tremendously. Porsche down slightly. Process, as I say, with 10 cent rising, that's doing quite well, but would still like to average it down. Raytheon 3.5%, that's quite good, in the 90s now. Renault, still not sure what to make of Renault. Rio Tinto 2.7%, slight recovery. Still not sure about iron ore, and the other sides of the business are taking a bit longer to get on board than we might have thought. Shell continues to power ahead, which is pretty good. Looking at the monthly, that's 20% up nearly in a month. So that's pretty good. Oil sort of touching $82, $83, I think. So that's pretty good. Samsung down 3% in the last week. Still think this looks really, really good considering the sort of industries they're in, the sort of batteries and semiconductors and that sort of thing. I think probably just because it's very diverse, people don't really like it. It's also Korean, so it's not really on many people's radar. But yeah, the multiples, sort of valuation multiples that other companies in these industries get is incredible compared to Samsung. So yeah, I still think over time could do well. Would like to probably beef that up. Sega slightly down for the week. Seneca Foods starting to come good again. 6% up. Only a small position, but 17% up. Near enough penny stock really, so I didn't want to pump that up too much. Siemens pretty flat. Sony's down slightly. Stellantis 1%. Not too much happening. Taylor Wimpey down a couple of percent. Still coming down. This was sort of £1.80 just a month or so ago. So yeah, that's coming down. And Tesla, yes, I bought another share of Tesla, 2 now. Kind of just feeling a little bit more. I mean, I do like the company. I've said sort of a few times I like the company. I didn't like the price, but market doesn't seem to agree with me. And I was sort of feeling a little bit more frivolous, a little bit more willing to accept a slightly higher price with Bitcoin going up, really. So if you watch tomorrow, you'll see what is probably a fairly green video on the crypto. So I was just feeling a little bit more bullish. So this was just my sort of every now and then deposit from salary. Sort of deposit £500-600, and with sort of a little bit of dividends as well. Just topped up and bought another share. So we'll see. I might keep adding to it. Not sure. Turtle Beach up 5%. It's pretty good. It's been sort of come into a right drop in the last week or so, but has come back. So pretty good. Tyson's pretty flat. Vale up slightly. Video games up slightly. And Beatrice and Volkswagen slightly down. So yeah, interesting to see where things go from here, really. Next sort of few weeks, hoping for good things out of crypto, but I'm thinking I might hold off slightly more than I was expecting on selling the crypto, more out of sort of fear that I'm going to need a little bit more money than was expecting, sort of hearing more and more about inflation. Certainly not a believer that it's transitory, so yeah, thinking may need a little bit more money, so might hold off for slightly higher crypto prices. A bit of a risk, but we'll see. And then put that partly into here, and still deciding sort of what to do with the rest. IG or Interactive Brokers maybe, but we'll see. So yeah, that's the portfolio for the week. Like and subscribe if you want to see more, and see you soon.